Good morning, guys. So for today's video, I am going to discuss guidelines to citation and referencing using the APA 7th edition. Referencing or citation is actually a formal reference to a published or unpublished source that you consulted and obtained information from while writing your research paper. Therefore, referencing is a way to provide evidence to support the assertions and claims in your own research. Now, referencing and citation means acknowledging your source either in the body of your work, which is known as the in-text referencing or citation, or linking your citations to your list of works cited, also known as the reference list or the bibliography. Referencing or citation or documenting the source used in your research serves the three purposes. First, it gives proper credit to the authors of the words or ideas that you incorporated in your paper. Second, it allows those who are reading your work to locate your sources in order to learn more about the ideas that you have included in your paper. And last, citing your sources consistently and accurately helps you avoid committing plagiarism in your thesis writing. There are three major citation style used in academic writing. First is the Modern Language Association. Second is the American Psychological Association. And third is the Chicago, which supports the two styles. Now, in this video, I am going to discuss the American Psychological Association or the APA format. Now, let us proceed with in-text referencing or known as the in-text citation. First is we have here the parenthetical citations. These are citations to original sources that appear in the text of your paper or in the body of your research paper. So this allows the readers to see immediately where your information comes from, and it saves you the trouble of having to make footnotes and endnotes. So this is a type of citation where the author and the date are in the parentheses at the end of the sentence. Take note that in writing this citation, the author and the date are inside the parentheses at the end of the sentence. Next is the narrative citation. This is a type of citation where the author's name is used or appears within the text of the sentence and not in the parentheses. Allow me to share to you the example of the parenthetical citation, wherein it consists the author's last name and the year of publication inside the parentheses at the end of the sentence. So this is our parenthetical citation. Next is an example of the narrative citation, which includes the author's last name and the year of publication. The year of publication is only inside the parentheses. In addition, if there is only one author, again, just put the surname followed by a comma and then the year of publication inside the parentheses. For the two authors, the surname of the authors is separated by the ampersand and then comma, the year of publication inside the parentheses. For the three authors, put the surname of the first author and then et al. Et al means others, followed by a comma and the year of publication inside the parentheses. For the group author, in the first time with an abbreviation, you must complete the abbreviation or the acronym. However, for the second citation or all subsequent citation, you can use the abbreviation or the acronym. Now, let us proceed with the reference list. Reference list contains all the sources that you have cited in the text of your work in your research paper. So these references came from a book, a journal, a web page, news or magazines, and a dissertation or thesis. So for the basic, this is the basic format. So we have here the author. We have here the author, followed by the date, and then the title of the work, and then the source where you can retrieve the work, and then followed by the URL or the DOI if available. URL stands for the Uniform Resource Locator, and DOI means Digital Object Identifier. For the book reference, here is an example. So first is we have here the author's last name and the initials. Take note, use only initials for their first name. And if there are two authors, use the ampersand in between. And then followed by the year published, followed by the title of the book. Take note, for works that stand alone for books and reports, the title must be italicized. Only capitalize the first word of the title here. Here is the first letter of the title, and the subtitle. Here is the subtitle. And then followed by the edition inside the parenthesis, and then followed by the publisher. Take note, you do not need to include the publisher's location or databases where you have retrieved it if it is taken from the book. Next is we have here a journal article. So if your reference came from a journal article, the same, you must cite all the surname of the authors and their initials. Take note that in the index citation, you will just cite there the surname of the first author and then et al. Meaning and others. However, under the reference list, you must cite all the author's surname and their initials. Take note, do not also forget the use of the ampersand before the final author's name, meaning the last author. And then followed by the year published of the journal article, and then followed by the title of the article. Here. There. So for works that are part of a greater whole, example, an article or chapter, use sentence case. Only the first word of the title and the subtitle and proper nouns are capitalized. And then followed by the title of the journal. Take note that it must be italicized. And then followed by the journal volume and the issue number. And of course, include the page range. And then last is the URL or the DOI or the Digital Object Identifier. Next is the web page. Of course, first is the surname of the author and his initial. Now, in cases that if there is no author, spell out the name of the organization or the site, and then followed by the year published. Take note that you must provide a specific date as it is available. Now, consider to use the date last updated, but not the date last reviewed or copyright date. Now, if there is no date, just use the abbreviation ND, which stands for no date. Next is, of course, the title of the page or the section. We have here the title. Take note that it must be italicized under the title of the page or the section. And then next is we have here the source. Usually, the official name of the website is considered as the source. However, if the source would be the same as the author, you can omit the source to avoid repetition. And then of course, followed by the URL. In this example, if you take note, we do not include here the source after the title since the website or the official name of the website is the same as the author. So to avoid repetition, we can omit this part and then followed by the URL. Next is from a news article. So again, list each author's last name and the initials. In cases again, if there are 2 authors or more than 3 authors, use the ampersand before the final author's name or the last surname of the last author, and then followed by the year, comma, and the month date. Take note, you do not need to abbreviate the month. And then followed by the title of the article. Take note that in this format, the title must not be italicized. For works that are part of a greater whole, for example, an article or a chapter, use sentence case. Only the first word of the title and the subtitle and proper nouns are capitalized. And then followed by the title of the newspaper or the publication. Take note that the title of the newspaper or publication must be italicized and capitalize each word in the publication. And last is of course the URL. And last is on dissertations or thesis. Again, list the author's last name and the initials. There is usually only one author for a thesis or dissertation, so you don't need to include any faculty advisors. And then followed by the year and the month date. Provide as specific a date as it is available. And then followed by the title of the dissertation or thesis. We have here. And then place also if it is a doctoral dissertation or a master's thesis. And then include the name of the university. Take note, for works that stand alone, example the books, dissertations, or thesis, you must italize the title. And of course, only capitalize the first word of the title and the subtitle or any proper nouns. The title page will indicate whether it's a doctoral dissertation or master's thesis and list the name of the university granting the degree. And then of course, it must be followed by the source. Here is the source. This source includes the name of the database or the institutional repository where you can access the work. For example, in this example shown, we have here the CSU Scholar Works. And last, of course, is we have there the URL. Take note, not all dissertation or thesis has available URL. If it's available, then include. If it is not available, do not include, of course. So, of course, under the reference list, do not forget this one important format. So, in between this author, the title, we have here, and the other parts is do not forget the use of a period. So this is one of the most important part also of the APA format. So the author, the year, it is separated by a period. So we have here, do not forget again the period. There you are. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope I have helped you in your thesis paper. So see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.